Don't you just love a flat tire? Welcome back to Philip's Hot Rod Garage. All right guys, so in this video, we're gonna be replacing these braces right here. I got a brand new set to go in it. There's one on each side that has to be replaced. This side has a pretty good bit of the brace left, but the other side, there's only a couple of inches of that brace left up at the top. Just enough of it left for me to know where to drill my holes. I can use that side for my pattern. So I gotta get these off and get them laid out onto the new braces, drill these bolt holes at the top. Then I got to do a bunch of fitting down at the bottom to clear the new subrails. So we might as well get started. All right, so hopefully I got the camera where you guys can see. We got two bolts here that have 3/8 heads on them, and we've got 7/16 nuts on the back side. Now hopefully I can just break these off because I'm pretty sure they're not going to come out without breaking. The only thing I see that's kind of unusual about these bolts is they appear to be 1/4" bolts with a 3/8 head. That's kind of unusual. Most of the time when you see a 1/4" bolt, it's going to have a 7/16 head on it. So hopefully a 7/16 head will fit in here. If not, I may have to try to find these special bolts. But I'm sure I can get a 7/16 head 1/4" bolt in there. All right, let me just try to break them off. They're turning pretty good. Kind of surprising, rusty as this thing is. There it went. I figured it was going to break, and it did. Well, I'm gonna grab a ratchet. All right, so I did not think I was going to need a ratchet. I figured it was just going to break off, but it's actually trying to come out. Well, that was a big surprise. If I would have known it was going to try to come out, I probably would have put some lubricant on it. I was just trying to break it off. Now I have a slight problem. I just assumed that those bolts were all that was holding that on, but I was wrong. There's something else holding it. It feels like there's a rivet up in there. I'm going to get at that the hard way. So, went and grabbed a carbide burr on my little die grinder. There's no way you guys are going to be able to see this. I can barely see it. Look at there. All right, so now let's take apart the driver's side. That one broke off easy. Wasn't much to that. But I think somebody might have been working on this part before. Like I told you guys before about this car, it was disassembled when I bought it down to just the shell, and somebody had already started doing some work to it. They didn't do any rust repair, that's for sure. Mostly just disassembly. You know what's sad about it? When the car was taken apart, from what I understand, all the pieces and the parts that were took off the car got hauled off for scrap. Isn't that terrible? Got hauled off for scrap. All the springs from the seats, and all the body panels were here, but There was a lot of stuff that I wish I could have got a hold of that came off the car originally. It's long gone years ago. Well, this one's wanting to be stubborn. Got it. Got it. All right, so here are my old ones. Here are my new ones. I just got to figure out how to get these to fit the car now. Unfortunately, somebody boogered up that old one on the driver's side pretty good. They tried to cut it out of the car. You can see where they cut it across there, and they actually cut it across the bottom. I thought maybe it was broken loose, but it was pretty obvious that they cut it. They were trying to get it out. So I don't have a whole lot to go by on that one. But that passenger side one, it looks pretty good. I can try to match it up and try to drill the holes in the same spot, and it should fit right in. But the only problem is I was very surprised to see that the holes are not round. They're actually like slots. They're ovaled. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. Got the ovals, slots there. I've got two choices. I can either go ahead and draw that out and slot it and make the oval shaped hole now, or I can just drill it dead center and hope it lines up. Can y'all hear that helicopter? It's like that all the time where I live. All the time. So I think I'll just drill them in the center and then slot them as needed to fit. All right, there's that one. All right. Vice grips are about wore out. They don't want to come loose very easy. All right, so they're drilled. Now we just got to see if they'll fit the car. Maybe they will. But before I get carried away putting those in, I got to get what's left of these rivets out of here. Perfect. All right. Whoa. Moving the whole car now. All right, so I got them bolted in there. Now I just gotta figure out this bottom part down here so I can get them to fit those sub rails. All right, so the first thing I want to do is make sure this thing is sitting straight up and down. Yep, that's sitting on 90 degrees. There you can see it, 90 degrees. And let me check some stuff on the rest of the car. See, that zeroes out. So that piece of square tubing is sitting flush with a quarter on both sides, and it zeroes out. So the car is sitting perfectly level across there. All right, where else can we check it? Let's try right here. Point 2. See, all I gotta do is move it a little bit, zeroes out. If I check it in here on this cross member, it zeroes out right there too. You say, well, my thing's messed up. No, it's not. Look, see that? It works. All right, so let's check this tubing across here. Boom, zeroes out right there. I'm having to hold it up level, but you get the idea. All right, so let's take a look at the rear body panel. Zeroes out. So I'm pretty confident that the car is sitting level. This thing pretty much zeroes out everywhere I put it. There it is, 90 degrees. There it is on the B pillar, 90 degrees. So I'm confident enough in how level the car is to believe that I can just set that on 90 degrees right there and it'll be in the right spot in the car. But I think I will go ahead and try one more thing while I'm going, just for curiosity's sake. I think I'll put this piece of square tubing across here. Try to line it up with the wheel well here as close as I can, just to get it close. And then I'm going to put this right here. Wow. What that tells me is that I've got the sub rails sitting even from one side to the other, perfectly level. So I think I'm ready to start trimming those braces. All right, so I just want to check one more thing here. I'm confident that the car is level, but I don't know that this part across here might be maybe sagging down on one side or the other. So I want to check from the sub rails up to here on both sides to see if it measures the same. And here we've got 25.5. Let me check the other side. And on this side, 25.5. That's perfect. Getting too old for this. All right, so I've got to try to cut this up just a little bit so I can bend this tab out some to get this to go a little closer to the sub rail so I can mark it. Got to get this bent up out of the way so I can push the brace up a little bit closer to the sub rail. All right, now that's got it, so I can get behind here and put some marks on it to know where to cut it off at. Yeah, I think that'll work out pretty good. Now I got to do the other side. All right, now I can get in here and clamp these down in place so they don't move. So they'll be at the perfect 90 degrees, and then put some marks on there. All right, so I got them marked. So now it's time to take them off the car, get them back to the work table, make some modifications. All right, so let's see what we got to do to get these trimmed down to fit. I kind of want to make them exactly the same. So I'm going to try my best to get them the same. All right, so what I'm going to do is bolt these things together. Now I believe by bolting them together, that'll help me get my cuts in the exact same spot on both sides. Should help me out here. I got a better solution. This bad boy right here. That helped out a bunch. All right, so I got that cut made. Let me flip it over now. Put some marks on these sides. All right, I should be able to make that work. Well, it's looking pretty good. We got a little bit more dressing up to do on it. I had to cut this tab off a little bit shorter, grind this up real good, see if we can get it to fit on the car. All right, let's stick it on the car, see how it's gonna fit. Well, it's not looking too bad, but I got to come up with this tab right here. So I got to take it off and hammer that a little bit more. All right, let's try it again. All right, guys, I'd say that looks pretty good. All right, so we're about to wrap this job up. I'm gonna go ahead and knock the driver's side out real quick. It won't take me but a few minutes to do it, so I'll probably put you guys on fast forward. I'll get the driver's side done, knock it out. I showed you how I did the passenger side. No reason to go through all that again. So let me get that done, get it installed, and I'll show you guys how it looks. All right, guys, I'd call that a success. The driver's side brace fits perfect, fits real good, fits nice at the bottom. And here's a look at the passenger side. Looks real good. Sitting on 90 degrees. So everything's looking really good back here in the back of the car. These braces we did last week. Got the front braces this week. Cross members are all in. Subrails fit really well. Everything's looking really good. So from the looks of things, we can get started making some floor pans now. See if we can get those to fit in sometime, maybe within the next couple of videos. But for now, I gotta get this flat tire fixed. off of there. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.